Good evening and welcome back to the Adventures in Lollygagging. I'm Aaron and I'll be your game master again tonight as we continue with Cubicle 7's Wrath and Glory, their first game in the Warhammer 40K universe. We are playing through the Litanies of Lost Adventures, and we are currently in the Vow of Silence. So I'm going to let everybody introduce their characters, tell us a little bit about themselves, what their current objective is, and then we'll jump into a recap, and then we'll see how many orcs it takes to kill them all. Let's start with Long.
I'm Wigbert, a death cult assassin from the Adeptus Mythostorum. Currently has guts partially hanging out of him. In my objective, converting all these non-believers to the Imperial cult.
Wonderful. And while Wigbert's putting his guts back inside of him, Melissa, why don't you tell us about Sister Nura?
So Sister Nura is a sister of battle of Adeptus Sororitas. I just rolled a new objective, which is to recant a holy litany applicable to the current situation. So we will see when that comes up during the session.
Wonderful. Jeff, tell us about your
I am playing Birtolf, Adeptus Mechanicus, Electro Priest Fulgurite specifically. He is currently, his objective is to reminisce about a forge world that I have visited to compare it to my current location. So, yeah.
That'll be interesting. See how that one flies. All right, Ashley.
I am playing Sister Celeste. She is our Sister Hospitaller. And I currently have the objective to fill my lungs again with a bolstering hymn in a time of stress.
Nice. So we'll get some singing or some chanting later this evening. It'll be
probably
fantastic.
chanting, you know.
That's what I had
like
last
throat
time.
chanting kind of thing.
I do.
Time of stress when you were hurt.
Yeah.
All right, Justin. Last but not least, and not the first to die, probably.
And we'll see. Well, who knows what's going to happen. I'm Gavious Vintael. I'm a human. I'm a member of the Inquisition for the Imperium. And I'm an Inquisitorial Acolyte, so I can do like pew-pews with my brains and like read people's minds and stuff. My objective for this particular run is postulate on the weakness of the mutant, the alien, and the renegade. So to just make everyone realize that Xanos bad. So that's what I got to do.
I like it. So this is our team of troubleshooters sent out by Helene Veronius to deal with some issues at the monastery. So, as a recap, the team was sent to the silent monastery of St. Hephaestium's Rest to retrieve the thigh bone of St. Hephaestium, a relic of the ecclesiarchy. In addition, they were to covertly uncover the traitors in the monks' midst and determine what their purpose was at the monastery. The entire mission, of course, was immediately put in jeopardy when the group arrived to find that the monastery had been overrun with orcs. After a battle in the nave, the team heard orc shouting from the infirmary near the altar. They used the servo skull Hastur Bravo to draw the pain boy Mad Doc Gorkcut out and then ambush him. The orc was quickly dealt with, and the team then followed the monk Ricard as he led them through the dormitories towards the solarium where he believed other monks were hiding. The team encountered two orc commandos arguing and quickly attacked, but the sound of a bolter round echoed through the halls, drawing more orcs gleefully to the team at the prospect of carnage and murder. Mech Fast Daka came raging out of the cloister, and a group of orc commandos assaulted from the chapter house. The battle was fierce and comedic as the combatants slipped and slid through viscera. In the end, the orcs were defeated, but Wigbert Hahn was grievously injured. Ricard then led the beaten group through a hidden door into the solarium, where they encountered a foul-mouthed monk who obviously was no longer keeping to his vow of silence. This monk, named Thaddeus, and 5 other monks, Gavant, Ludmilla, Nerva, Nitmunla, and Vashti, had been hiding here in the solarium since the orcs attacked. However, it was quickly clear that there was something off with Thaddeus, and Gavious used his psychic mastery to plumb the monk's mind. He discovered that Thaddeus was actually one of 2 traitors that they were hunting. Through his telepathic assault, he learned that Thaddeus and Calliope, who was not here with them, had fled the twisted tunnels of the underhive of Theocropolis Vehementer when their mutations began to manifest. They were taken in by the transposed hope, a cult to Sinch, the changer of ways. The cult sent them to infiltrate the monastery to steal copies of the Emperor's Tarot and to secure the thigh bone of Saint Hephaestion. At first, the monks in the room in the solarium couldn't believe that Calliope was involved in heretical practices. But with the assurances of 2 sisters of battle and a copy of the Baronius writ, they were convinced of the team's legitimacy. Having been found out, Thaddeus pleaded for his life and promised to show the team how to traverse the night stairs to reach the leader of the monks hidden within the solarium. And that is where we ended our last session. So we're going to jump back into the solarium. These silent monks are signing back and forth, still enraged that Thaddeus and Calliope had infiltrated them, and even more so that Thaddeus had discovered the night stairs and had been using it all along to steal copies of the Emperor's Tarot. What would you like to do at this point?
Take us to Calliope.
All right. Listen, though, you gotta promise me. I mean, we had no other choice. You gotta understand. I mean, we were driven deeper and deeper into the underhive. Nobody would give us any work, and transposed hope. They took us in and they told us that we had a place and that we could belong and that it was okay to be different and that change was all right and that we were actually the next stage in human development, that we were meant to be the way we are. I mean, that's, you got to understand, right? I mean, you understand, right?
It's not for me to judge. The Emperor will judge your sins.
Okay, listen. I'll take you. I'll take you through the night stairs, and we'll all go, and we'll get to the solarium. And Anatolia will be there. He's the leader of the monks. And I'm sure we can work all of this out. We don't need to involve the Inquisition or anything like that. I mean, if I help you out of this, maybe you just turn your back and Calliope and we'll just leave. We'll give everything back and we'll just leave. What do you think? And he's looking at the sisters. He's looking at the sister hospitaler for compassion. What do you think, sister? I mean, I could be forgiven, right?
It is not my grace to give. As I can see it, you're a heretic and you should be put down like the monster that you've become. And once we get what we need from you, it will be by the Emperor's light in my hand that you will be snuffed from this world.
Give me an intimidation check. Difficulty, difficulty 4. Let's see how he reacts.
I don't know if I have any. Okay. I'm still wounded, so my base difficulty is actually 6 right now.
Okay, that'll work.
Eek. I mean, really, though, when you're dripping with blood and you're intimidating somebody, I'm not sure it takes away from the intimidation.
No, he's absolutely terrified. Your speech has terrified him to the point where he's almost catatonic. He's like, I can't. And he's basically shutting down. His mind appears to just sort of be shutting down at this moment. He's slipping into shock at the thought of being executed. How would you guys like to handle this?
Should have made better decisions.
That's true.
So Sister Nura will kind of come from the other kind of side and just, are you interested in attempting to save Calliope?
She's my sister. She didn't do anything wrong. We're just trying to live.
we will defer judgment on your weak-mindedness until we have located Calliope.
Okay. He wants to believe you. So he's okay. Okay. I mean, okay. All right. And then he goes over to a wall panel and he taps certain tiles next to the wall, and this door slides open. And you see there's a ladder going down. He goes, it's really cramped down there. We're basically gonna have to crouch and walk along. But there are lights in the tunnel. And the rest of the monks, they're still signing. They're absolutely furious that this is happening, but they've accepted it and they're nodding and they want to get back to the rest of the monks and they want to get back to Master Anatoly as well. So how do you proceed?
Don't you think we should probably take a break to scoop old Wigbert's guts back into his body?
What do you mean, Gavious? I'm fine. You see all my stitches opening up. I'm soaked in orc blood, my own blood.
And at seeing that, Sister Celeste gets annoyed and she makes you lay back down again as she again starts to just get in your guts and starts rearranging things, sewing it back up again. Maybe getting extra fabric or something to like make you a makeshift girdle.
And Byrrc is standing right next to you, Sister Celeste, and he's doing that, and he's just, the flesh is weak. On Evercross, you would be discarded as you are just some sort of refuse. If possible, you would replace it with something more sturdy and capable and functional, like machinery. You are a great disappointment, Wigbert. You must learn from Sister and begin to replace yourself with stronger, sturdier parts.
When I'm ready to offer myself to the Emperor, then he'll have my flesh.
I mean, knife legs would be pretty cool.
That is a pale offering. We have seen how pathetic your flesh is. You insult the Omnissiah with your pathetic and wretched filth.
The monks are back here going like they're signing furious now. They're a little afraid now of you as well. Sister Celeste, if you'd like to do a Medicaid check to see if you can provide any healing to Wigbert.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
definitely
do
not
it.
assisting.
While I do this, I'll spend 1 wrath to recover shock as well.
Okay, so you recover 3 shock for the wrath point. And for people at home, that's your rank plus your tier. 7 successes. That's fantastic.
Wow,
But
never
the
mind.
DN was 8 because you're wounded.
Am I wounded?
I don't know. Are
We
you
do
wounded?
have some audience support for, I forget how we were using it, but we do have some of that.
You also have a Wraith and Glory to use.
Justin, I don't want to alarm you, but
You can.
the poll is picking you as the one who's going to die.
Ouch. You can use a wrath point if you want to re-roll your 3 and your 1 to see if you can.
Yeah,
Get
let's
a
do
success.
it. Let's rip one early.
Let's do it. You should
Then
just
I
have a
really
right
have
click
to
on him, I
sing.
think.
It's there. It is. Okay, it's just being delayed. Nope.
Ah, well. So you're working on him, but you yourself are so beat up and tired, and he's so injured.
Under the effects, what is the I one? Yeah, like the fourth one in from the left.
Blinded. Oh, wait. That was a different one. That one's fear.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I don't think I'm feared anymore.
No, you should not. You should not be afraid anymore. You can take that off. That would have been affecting your roll too. So that you would have actually, it would have been a DN6. So you would have succeeded and healed 1 wound to Wigbert.
See, good as new. Like nothing happened.
Chipping away at it.
That's enough, sister. This'll hold.
And so, and you see, Thaddeus is he's just waiting there on the ladder, just waiting for somebody to follow him. His mouth is completely shut. He's sweating. He's pale. He's clearly like on the cusp of going into shock. He's still got that massive head wound, and he's trembling in fear. But he's waiting, quiet.
Not in character, but do we want to try and rest here, or what are you guys
Would
thinking?
resting give him some healing back as well, or
If you guys rested for 6 hours, you'd be healed, but that would be very dangerous to do here, probably.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, you could give it a shot and see what happens, but if you
Yeah.
get interrupted, then that time is just wasted. And you don't know how much time you really have here, so.
Okay.
But it's your call. You absolutely can if you want. You can just take a regroup action, but then you'd only be able to heal one person equal to your Medicaid skill rank. And that's about, you're basically taking a rest for about an hour or so.
I'm doing
What-
okay, so I don't need to wait for 6 hours. So, like, if other people who might be like closer to,
yeah, I'm doing fine, and nothing's gonna happen to me. So we're gonna be
Excellent.
fine.
Let's
All
see
right.
if the place with the other people is safer than.
Okay. So he climbs down the stairs. One by one, you follow him down, and it is a very cramped space. You are basically either going on your hands and knees, or you're crouched over almost completely. There are lights along it, and he starts weaving through, and every like 20 feet or so, it branches and goes in different directions, and sometimes there's a ladder going further down, and it takes you guys about 20 minutes to traverse this maze of night stairs. You think you could probably find your way back if you had to, but it wouldn't be easy. And you can see why the monks had protected this so much, because at several points along your journey, you could see where there were hatches or sliding panels that would let you into another part of the monastery. But he says, keep coming, keep following me, keep following me. We're almost there. And I am gonna. Jeff, if when you get a chance, can you light the map up? It's just gone black.
Yeah.
But so you eventually you make it into he makes it next to a panel. He brings you up another small ladder, and there's this panel door, and he goes, this is going to lead us into the solarium. I think the rest of the monks are there. They may be a little panicky when we come through, but it'll be okay. If you want, well, no, really can't really turn around in here. I'll go through, and then you guys can follow. Okay.
do not leave our sight.
I won't, sister. And the panel slides open, and you spill out into a large, well-lit room. The solarium was clearly built to allow the light, the natural sunlight to pour in. It's a long room with a dome at the end. I'm gonna try to get you guys tokens moved over there so you can see what I'm talking about. And Thaddeus leads you in there. When you get in there, you see another 4 monks in there. They're shocked when that panel opens, and they are picking up chair legs and anything they can get their hands on, and they're getting ready to fight, assuming somehow that the orcs have found a way in. But as soon as they see their fellow monks behind you, they put everything down, and they run to one another, and they embrace one another. And as that's happening, you see up in the dome, behind some curtains, you see a young female scribe laid out. She's bandaged heavily, and you see another woman crouched over her in several layers of cloaks and a habit. And she stands and turns and looks at you all and looks at Thaddeus. And Thaddeus says, now. And at that point, a few things are going to happen. You see this woman, she turns, and everything almost seems to go in slow motion. And as she turns, it's almost like her body lifts a few inches off the ground, and you feel the temperature in the room drop to the point where you see your own breath coming out of your mouths. And the moisture in the air begins to collect and almost form snowflakes falling around her. But the moment they form, they turn kind of a gray, ashy color and just begin to swirl around her as she says, "And the Emperor's light, defilers, be gone." Gavious, you feel warp energy swirling around this woman, and you feel her beginning to unleash something.
Can I deny the witch?
You can definitely attempt to deny the witch. So, for those of you at home watching, deny the witch is an ability to stop someone from using psychic powers. So you can sort of react to do this, but you lose your next turn. So it's basically you're jumping in initiative. And the way you do that is you have to successfully roll a deny the witch check, and the DN is equal to the DN of the power the witch is trying to activate plus 2. So first, we roll the witch's power, or we roll Calliope's power to see if she even succeeds. And then if she does succeed, Gavious will attempt to shut the power down. And if she doesn't succeed, you don't need to worry about denying the witch. But as you feel the energy is beginning to surge, you're preparing to shut her down using your own psychic abilities. And I've got the wrong character sheet open. Where is... Come on, Foundry. There we go.
It's the standoff of just
I just want to
guns
reiterate,
out.
Gavious was the one who led in the poll.
Okay, she is going to succeed unless you deny her. Your target number is 9. You have to get a DN9 test. 9 successes.
What am I rolling? Am I rolling off of will?
Your psychic mastery.
So I need to get what? DN?
You have to get it's a DN9 test. Difficulty 9.
Is there anything I can do to like add to it?
Yes, you can. So with psychic powers, you can open yourself up more widely to the warp. Once you do that, you can't shut it back down for the rest of the scene. But what that does is it gives you additional dice, but they're all wrath dice. And I will tell you exactly how that works. So you're bound, so you don't get any bonus wrath dice. You can cast unbound, and that would give you +1 die, but it's a wrath dice. You get +1 dice, and your wrath pool would change to 2. Or you can go transcendent, and that's 2 or more bonus wrath dice. You suffer shock damage equal to the amount of wrath dice in your pool, and you may only make transcendent psychic mastery tests for the rest of the scene. So you decide then how many extra dice you want, but they're all wrath dice. And you take shock for as many as you use.
I'm gonna go transcendent, seeing how I would love to see my head explode in this if I can.
Okay. So how many extra dice are you using for transcendence?
So shock, I currently have. Where do I find? Where was my shock at? It's
on the combat tab.
I have 1 shock out of 9.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw in 3 extra dice.
All right. So you in that pull down, you put in 3 dice and you make your wrath dice 4. Where it says wrath dice, make that 4.
So at the bottom, make it 4. So it says DN9, dice pool 10, wrath 4. So what it is?
Right. Yeah, but where it says on your dice, you need to put 3 extra in the far right.
In the
column.
bonus? Okay.
Yep, bonus dice.
All right.
Let's see what you get. You got 9 successes and a wrath critical, so your glory's already maxed out. You're able to stop her power from going off. However, she does still have to roll the peril of the warp. All right, I need everybody to make a difficulty 3 agility test.
Eek.
Ooh, wrath complication.
I passed with a critical.
All right.
I failed with a wrath complication.
All right.
I just failed.
I'm gonna wrath reroll, I think.
Okay.
Might I shift my critical to improve it, possibly assist someone from failing?
Technically, no, but I like where your head's at. So yes, if there's one person who only needs one additional success to pass, you can keep them on their feet.
Does anybody need one?
I think that's me and Talov.
Yeah, I'm a straight fail. I only got 2 successes, and I need 4 because I'm wounded.
Oh yeah, I need 4 because I'm also wounded. Never mind.
All right. So no, your
Okay.
wrath critical went to Glory. You stayed on your feet. Everybody who took a dive, you take you're prone, and you take 1 point of shock.
So I take my 3 shock in that, right?
Correct. And she also fell.
So I'm at 5 shock. When
Well,
is
actually, no, she was floating, so she does not fall. But
So I'm
what's
at
your
fi-
maximum?
9.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay.
If
And I
you
need
max-
to roll my complication.
Yes. Okay, so you're distracted by the memory. So what is this past problem? What does this make you think of that's going to cause you to be distracted?
Her, the one that I've been searching for this time, and the proximity to this Sneech being just does nothing but distract me from my current goal and makes me want to find her even more.
Okay, I like it. So you're distracted. You've used your turn this turn. The next turn that you come around, your difficulty is +2 for whatever you try to do because you're distracted. Sister Nura, do you have any technology on you? I mean,
I would imagine that what I have on me that's technological would be the power armor
I think
and
so,
the
too.
bolt gun. Both of
I think
those two things.
I think the power
would have.
armor. I think when you go prone, a servo in your left knee joint locks up a little bit. So that's going to take your turn this turn to get that righted and get back on your feet.
Okay. And for failing, it was prone and was it
One shock. You take one
shock,
point of shock as the earth shakes. You see all the monks hit the ground. Thaddeus is on the ground. The only people not on the ground are Wigbert and this witch Calliope, who's floating above the ground. So it's back to you. One of you gets to do something at this point.
While I'm up and Thaddeus just shut him now, I turn to him with my power blades and thrust it into his abdomen.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. His defense is just 1, so.
Got 6 with 1 shift.
Okay. What do you want to shift that to?
Let's do
You guys are at
damage.
max blue right now, so yeah, shift for damage. I like it. So go ahead and roll your damage. 9 AP2. Okay. Describe what it looks like when you remove Thaddeus from the equation.
For those that defy the Emperor, only the Emperor can receive the judgment. And only in death shall you receive that judgment. I just cut him in half.
And as he's sliding apart, he looks over at Calliope, and his eyes go wide for a second, and his mouth opens and blood just pours out as his torso slides off his body. At this point, Calliope uses a ruin point to interrupt combat. Looks right at you, Wigbert, and just says, "Die." So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, Wigbert didn't win the poll, so clearly Wigbert's going to be okay.
What is your defense, Wigbert?
3.
All right. Okay, she got 6 successes and a possible shift and a wrath complication. So she'll shift for damage. We'll do that. Well, she'll be +1 mortal wounds for. Oh no, that's for the wrath critical. She'll shift for damage. Okay, so you take 2 mortal wounds, so they cannot be resisted. So they cut through everything as this psychic energy, this telekinetic. It's almost like a telekinetic knife of energy, just slices through your already ruptured guts. How are you looking on wounds now?
Let's see. I was at 4. Now I'm at 6 out of 7.
Okay,
As you said, it's not. You can't roll to remove it.
Nope, you can't resist that. And you can't use determination to deal with it either. Okay.
And she screamed.
Yep. Okay, so when she does this, her rage flows out of her in a desire to kill Wigbert. And it rips the seams between the warp and reality. And you hear this wailing, insane cry wash over you. I need everybody to roll a d3.
Three for Nura.
And that's how much additional shock you take.
Oh no, I wanted to roll low. My bad.
Got 1.
So what happens when you're full
over
up on
max
shock?
Yeah.
You become exhausted. When
Okay.
you're full up on shock, you're exhausted. I'll tell you all about exhausted here in just a second. So first, staggered. You're just off balance. When you're staggered, your speed is reduced by half. So that's not a big deal. When you're exhausted, any additional shock you suffer immediately becomes a mortal wound.
Oh.
So
That's
did
bad.
we get 2 mortal wounds then?
Did you exceed your? How much did you exceed your shock by? Or your?
So 2 with the 3 that we just took.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then yeah,
I'm
you
fine.
take 2 mortal wounds.
Shit.
Oh.
So while you're exhausted, you can only perform a basic combat action or fall back. So like you can't aim, you can't do a multi-attack, you can't do a multi-action, you can just do a basic action. But you also see blood is now pouring down her nose and out of her ears. She is clearly pushing herself harder probably than she has ever pushed herself before. And she's beginning to look like she's suffering from the exertion as well. It's back over to you guys.
I'm gonna slap Talov with what is this?
We're on the same team. What are you slapping me for?
No, I'm doing the thing where she casts the passion on you.
I know.
So you gain double rank bonus die to weapon skill tests for 1 round.
Cool.
So I imagine she doesn't even get up because she got knocked down. She started to get up and then she took this additional shock. So she's on her knee. She's got like taken a knee and she just kind of reaches over. And as she's staring at this woman who's using the Emperor's powers against her as if she has the right to do so, she blesses you with the passion.
Okay.
Nice.
Just
And you see her eyes are still focused on Wigbert, and you feel the temperature drop even further, and you feel an energy building. But
Silence
you
her.
could do something.
Can Talov go, or is it
Absolutely.
going back to you?
I mean, it technically is. I mean, she has the ability to take, but she's building some power at the moment. So you've got a moment.
I mean, we could spend glory too if we want to maintain it. If you want us to do that.
No, you don't have to.
Is she? I know you said she's like kind of floating. Is she floating so high that I can't whack her with?
Oh no, she's like 2 inches above the ground. She's just barely floating. It's just creepy floating as opposed to flying.
All right. I mean, so Talop will do the kind of classic stand up where he flips himself up so his legs kind of wave up, and he's coursing with sort of electricity through his electus. And he'll just, why did we not just kill them? They are heretics. And then I guess he'll just try to hit her. He's too close to her to really charge, so and he just had to get up anyway. So we'll say he just as best he can, he's going to launch himself up at her and swirl the staff around and attack her.
Good. Her defense is 4.
Okay. It's gonna be rough. And so it's double my, would you say double my rank, Ashley? Is that right?
It's double rank bonus dice to your weapon
plus
skill.
2.
So +2, yeah. Okay. So
But I don't know if that or by his will would have been better, because that one, if I help a character with the Imperium Cure, would add triple the number of bonus dice. So
that's
if he has bonus dice from a different source.
Yeah, and I
okay.
don't currently.
Thank you. That was my question.
All right, you said 4, right?
Difficult. Oh, yeah, her defense is 4.
Yeah, and I'm wounded, so it's going to be a 5. But here we go. All right, so that's 8 successes with a wrath critical.
Nice. And 2 possible shifts.
2 possible shifts, which will naturally go to damage. So I'm trying to remember the so the ones I don't have successes on. Is it so?
You can spend 1 wrath point to reroll all the dice that did succeed.
And then the difference is, so the difference between like what I need to hit, like in terms of the multiple successes, how does that go towards damage again?
If you get 6s, 6 on a dice that's above and beyond what you needed to hit her, that 6 can be shifted for additional damage. So it's the number of 6s beyond.
Gotcha. I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna try. It says I have no more wrath, but I should have 1 more wrath. So let me add that in because I've only spent 1 tonight. Give it a go. All right, I got another one. So that's 4 shifts possible, 12 successes with a wrath critical.
Right.
Wow.
I like it.
So yeah, I'm not sure. I still don't know how to make the, make it automatically do the extra shifts over. So I'm just gonna roll damage.
Mm-hmm. And then we just add 4 to it.
20 points of damage. 24 points of damage minus 2 for armor piercing AP.
Just roll the critical. I want to see what the critical is, and then you can tell me how you destroy this witch.
Headshot.
Perfect. That's
yeah. So I think what I will do is as I leap up, I will then run up the back of whoever else is actually standing, and I will leap across, and I'll just, while she's not even looking at me, not even paying attention to me, I will just smash the staff right down onto her head and just splattering it like it is some kind of gourd that erupts in the body fold, I assume.
Immediately, yeah. As her head gets caved in, her body falls to the ground, and the moisture in the air just pours for a second. It's almost like raining in the room for a second, and you hear this long, horrific wail slowly tapering off, and then all is quiet.
And he will go towards her body as it's wailing. He will go,
and it slowly fades away. And you are standing over the corpses of Thaddeus and Calliope. The monks are staggering to their feet. I mean, they're shocked. They're exhausted. They're slowly signing. The one young female scribe in the corner has has pulled her body up against the corner wall, and you see she's got a horrible injury on her leg. It's soaked in blood. And she's like, oh my God, what is happening here?
We come here to investigate what is happening here. What insights have you to share?
I'm just a scribe. I just came to the monastery to maybe take vows. My name is Shardai. When the orcs came, they nearly chopped off my leg, and I yelled out. And the monks, they said it was okay because I was young. I wasn't even a novitiate yet. So I don't know what's going on. Calliope was a friend. She was taking care of me. What is going on?
There is a scourge. We are here to purge it.
But Thaddeus, I mean, nobody like Thaddeus, but there are orcs out there.
Orcs and heretics were among you. I do apologize to have to bring this information to you.
And she's sweating profusely. You could tell she has lost a lot of blood and is...
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can tend to her.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a Medicaid test.
I think it would be rough because your girl is hurting. But let's see.
Yeah,
6.
You're good. You're good. So you're able, you see, they did a terrible job. And you're able to get in there and suture it a little bit, use some synth skin to plaster it over, rebandage it, give her some painkillers. And she starts to look better. I mean, she's still in a lot of pain. She still lost a lot of blood, but her eyes are less glassy and they're a little more focused. She's like, oh, thank you, sister. Thank you. You're a blessing from the Emperor. And you see the monks are like trying to get her attention, and they're signing, and the new monks and the old monks. She's like, oh, all right. Oh, yes, brother. Yes, sister. They want to know. I mean, the others, they said that you come from the Veronius fleet and that you were here to get the thigh bone of Hephaestium, but that now you're helping to fight the orcs. And the monks that were here with me, they want to know if that's true or what's going on or who was Calliope and Thaddeus. And
we will leave your monastery better than we found it. That is all you need to know.
Okay. And she turns back and signs to them for a moment, and they look confused and they sign back and they're like, what is, she goes, well, they want to know what that means.
We did come here for the thigh bone. But we did realize that you required assistance. We found trip mines on the pathway leading up to the monastery, and that alerted us that you guys were in peril.
Well, maybe you should talk to Father Anatoly about this.
Is he in here?
Yeah, and you guys see an open door that was kind of behind where you came in, and you see it connects a very short hallway. And on the other side, you see just a glass door. And you see an older man in a monk's habit standing at the door, having watched some of this, and he's furiously signing at Shardai. And you know, that's Father Anatoly. He's in charge of the monastery. And that's the anechoic chamber. That's him and the senior brothers are in there. Once Father Anatoly figured out that some of the Emperor's tarot decks were missing, he took the senior monks in there to protect the rest of the tarot decks.
And Celeste looks at Gavious at that point and then turns back. I believe you don't need to worry about missing tarot decks any longer, as she motions towards Calliope and Thaddeus.
They were the ones. And so she turns back to Father Anatoly and signs something, and he signs back really angry. She goes, the father, he finds it hard to believe that Calliope was responsible for that. She was so kind. And you can tell from his angle where he's at in this hall, he had no way of seeing what happened in the room. So he is unaware of the battle that took place.
Can I like pull him over, show him her body?
Well,
and
he's behind a door.
Okay.
He sealed himself in another chamber, and he's not opening it because he doesn't at this moment trust.
And he can't see us?
He can see you. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to pick the body up. All right. Bring it over to the door. Bring it over to the window and show him the corruption of, and say, to get my objective done, this is a corruption of Xenos of the worst order. It is a heretical spit in the face of our Lord Emperor. She sided herself with the chaos god of Sneech, and she betrayed you and your people. If you don't believe this, I don't know what else to tell you. Look at her body, look at her face, look at her, well, what's left of her face, and look what she was before she was dealt with in such a manner. She is a heretical creature in the worst degree. What else do we need to do to prove to you?
Give me a persuasion check, or intimidation, depending on how you're trying to flavor this. Difficulty 3, because
I'll do intimidation.
Okay, would be difficulty 5, but it's 3 because you guys have props.
Yeah, and I'll say along the lines of like, if you don't see this as an affront to the Lord Emperor himself, you yourself are a heretical being as well. That'll be the intimidation that I'm giving, right?
Okay.
Whoops.
All right. One success, 6
Reroll
failures,
that.
and a wrath complication. You can't
don't really have
the
any rerolls.
complication. So, so the complication is that he furiously signs to Shardai that you are in fact obviously the heretics that have been left in here, and he is not going to open the door to you, a murderer of poor Sister Calliope.
What kind of door is it?
It looks like glasscrete.
Does it look like it has any? Is it? Because I know so thus far, this temple seems very low on the tech level. So, is there anything? Is there anything keeping it closed? Does it look like it's a maglock or something like that? Is there anything technical
Give me a tech
about
roll.
it? Okay. I enjoy that. Is there a difficulty?
It's a standard difficulty 3, but
Okay.
more successes might give you more information.
Gotcha. Can I consult with Crasto? Hang on, let me get his name.
Absolutely.
Haster Crow for like a bonus or anything?
Yeah.
For this? How much would that grant me?
I'll give you a 2 bonus die
Okay. All right.
for his aid. That would be his tech score.
Got it. Thank you. There. As he and I are sitting in the back, listening to this conversation go on, and I am like opining to him, they call these people men of faith. Since when does a man of faith need evidence to believe? These are heretics unto themselves. We should be slaying all of these flesh bags. And then we'll be talking about whether there's a way to get through that.
Wouldn't we have like a mission brief? Because if we
Yes.
just had like a simple mission brief, Celeste would just calmly walk up to the glass barrier and place her orders there for him to review, certifying her reason to be here.
Okay. So, as you're walking to that, yes, you're able to tell that there is a sort of grav lock system on this door. You possibly could hack it from this side. You'd have to cut a section out of the wall to get at the circuitry and then be able to hack it. It's not computerized. It's purely a mechanical lock.
Sure.
So, but yes, you would be able to bypass it eventually. Sister Celeste, you walk up with it's basically on a hollow slate, and you're able to put it in front of him. Give me a persuasion check. Difficulty 3. I was going to drop it down to 2, but since Gavious terrified him, we're going to stick with 3 at the moment.
Okay.
That's like the picture when I was
Anybody
holding
want
her
to
up and
assist me
shaking her.
with this?
Sorry, what are you rolling, Ashley?
Persuade.
Nope.
I will help you persuade him with my electro leech staff if you would like.
I know, like I can
It's very persuasive.
intimidate.
Just look at Calliope.
I will tell you this: you can get 3 bonus dice because Charday is signing to him that the monks around you believe you and that they agree with you and that they saw things that made it clear that what you're saying is true.
Oh, bless. Okay, cool.
And a rifle critical. All right. Yeah. So definitely. So you show him this, and while Charday is signing, and I apologize to everybody out there who actually knows sign language, and this shit is not sign language. I know that. I don't know any sign language. I apologize for that. But
okay.
he looks at it. He reads it. He looks at Scribe Charday. He shakes his head. He turns back and he presses a button and the door slides open. He goes, "You must understand. The Emperor's tarot decks, this is our sacred mission for centuries, is to build these tarot decks for the astropaths and the diviners. We must protect our work. It is his holy remit for our monastery to do this. That is why I had to be sure. I am shocked and saddened to hear that Calliope has fallen to the ruinous powers, but perhaps your actions have allowed her soul to fly free and to be judged by the Emperor. May he reign forever upon his golden throne."
She nods in agreement.
But
they are not the first who we have come across who have been tainted by. I believe it's the Slanesh.
no, this is Chinch, the Changer in Ways. He's one of
Okay.
the 4 ruinous powers. Slanesh is another of the 4 ruinous powers. And you also found Nurgle, so now you're up to 3 out of the 4 ruinous powers that you've kind of had an opportunity to rub shoulders with their cult members. Get a taste of.
So and that's just what she'll say is there's been an uprising in these situations, so we must be careful. So thank you.
Yes. With the warp storm and the Gilead system being isolated, we feared this very thing happening. Orcs and cult members. These are dark days, sister.
Do you know where the thigh bone is located?
And of course, he's not saying this directly to you. This is all being translated through the scribe.
Yeah.
But I'm just making it easy on all of us here. And she translates through that. She says the last place that he saw them, or saw the thigh bone of Saint Hephaestion, was in the belt of the leader of these orcs. He heard him call himself Captain Sly Stacka. When they attacked the monastery. And he says, I don't think he knows what this is. He just keeps calling it a big pig sticker. But the last I saw it was tucked in his belt as some sort of trophy. I think the only reason he took it is because it was under a glass case at the base of the altar.
Probably. And if you could give me a moment, and then at that point she'll step away to speak with the rest of the group.
Okay. And he goes off to talk to the other monks and takes the scribe with him.
So, of course,
Yes, sister?
it's with the captain, Big Stacka. we'll have to see where he's located and if we can retrieve the bone. But I do believe we all require some rest. We'll have to see if this place would be safe enough.
We can certainly take some time. It is not an if we can take those orcs. We can take those orcs, and we will take those orcs. But I agree, a rest first may be wise.
You see Wigbert pass out from blood loss agreeing to that statement.
Yeah.
Beric will just say, had we not entertained heretics, had we not appeased these inefficient fools who do not understand the meaning of faith, we would have already completed our tasks.
Taking them out, as you all did, was a benefit to our task here.
I'm going to stand over Wigbert's body, and I will say, in the Forge Worlds of Avaclus, we take useless, broken flesh like this, and we run it through the recyclers. We take the bioelectricity that is wasted, and we put it to far better use. Waste management, weapons, and all manner of things. I spent a great deal of time there, and I have learned much, although I am now more of a warrior. My skills and technicians is still there. Should you ask of it, sisters, I will recycle Wigbert's, so his energy might be put to better use.
We do not
He's
ask
like
of it. His energy is being put to
holding his
use here.
My right shoulder involuntarily twitches.
I just hold it and electrically slam over down.
No.
Don't put me out of a job yet, Talov. Celeste says as she kneels down next to him and again just starts to pack wounds and
he's just
do-
going to be like, the inefficiency, the amount of energy you are expending to keep this broken bag together and functioning. We drag him around like a weight. So be it.
At that point, the scribe Shardai comes back over with Father Anatoly. And through Father Anatoly, he says that you are welcome to stay here within the solarium if you need to rest and regroup. The orcs believe that the glasscrete walls of the solarium are actually some sort of force field, and they've withdrawn, we believe, back to the refectory to try to figure out some way to bring down the force field. They are truly stupid beings, but they are fierce and deadly. However, you feel free, so you may feel free to stay here. We've been here for days, safely. However, from what the others tell me, you've killed many of the orcs already. I expect very soon they'll find their fallen comrades and realize that there's something else going on in the monastery that may warrant a heightened level of security. So it is a double-edged sword. If you try to take them now, you may catch them unaware while they plan. If you wait and recover, they may be ready for you. But what meager space and food we have is yours. You're more than welcome to stay, and my brothers and sisters can help try to mend your wounds.
Sister Nura will kind of look over to Wigbert and just say, it appears the decision has been made for us.
Okay.
The Emperor will decide when it is his time. That is not now. We will rest.
I like it. So mechanically speaking, you'll be taking a respite. So it's about a 6-hour rest. So basically you're taking, 6 to 8 hours. In that time, everything resets. So your wrath points go back to 2. Your wounds and your shock are fully recovered. Your glory goes back to 0. And my rune drops down as well to 5. So is there anything you want to do or say or anything else other than rest and recuperate that you want to do during this 6-hour period?
Yeah, when I regain consciousness, I'm hoping to argue that putting Thaddeus out of his life was converting him to being a believer.
Okay. Who are you arguing this with?
The DM, the DM.
So I like to think he's arguing with Thaddeus's
Emperor.
body.
I like it. So tell me what it is you're saying. So Thaddeus's body, bisected body, is in a corner with sort of a tarp over it. So describe what it looks like when Wigbert goes over there to have this conversation. And what do you say to his corpse?
You defied the Imperium. Now the Emperor can judge you in death.
And you hear, or perhaps you imagine in the back of your mind, the corpse god judges no one. He only feeds on his subjects. But you successfully argued your point. Anybody else have anything they want to do during the 6-hour period?
I think during the entire time, Birk will be next to Wigbert, and he will be sort of regaling his exhausted corpse with the process for which Birk would be more than happy to disassemble and sap him of the various the force that flows through you. Your force could feed my force, and in doing so, our squad could grow stronger. This is the best path forward for you. And he's just looking around, seeing how if Sister Celeste is too close, he's not going to do it if Sister Celeste is there, watching. But the whole time, he's just saying and whispering these things.
And at one point, Celeste will approach you, but she's not really paying attention because at one point her ear got ripped off. I think it was in that explosion or whatever.
Yep.
So she's going to start talking to you about what possible augments she could get if you know of any, if you could recommend someone and try and get you.
There are several ocular implantations you can use to improve your auditory skills. And I hope it will be one that we are capable of affixing to you myself. If, that is, we are fortunate to leave this place. I fear this bag before us is a weight hanging from our necks, and we might not be able to amend the fleshless part of your face with a superior implantation because of this one.
And she just kind of smiles, but doesn't agree or disagree. She just kind of she's just Nora, you called, and turns and walks away.
And then he immediately goes back to just so anyway.
But then we will take.
What was I saying? Oh, yes.
And just the whole disintegration. How exactly your body will sort of feed this or feed that.
I love it. Wigbert, when you come back to consciousness, do you have any rejoinder to this?
I'm not opposed.
Birk will nod. He'll put a hand.
Next time you are so close to death so as to deplete Sister Celeste of essential bioelectricity, I shall send you off so that I might absorb that motive force that is within you. Yes.
Sounds like I can continue on.
We are agreed.
Smacks him really hard right in the shoulder that he just is hurt.
Wigbert, you son of a bitch.
We do. All right.
So
For
there's-
him, it's a broken arm. For you, it's a robotic arm because he
I
just
just
so beat the
electrocute him
shit.
too.
Wigbet, you son of a bitch.
how about Gavious or Sister Nura? Anything that
I'm just kind of like going through my effects, kind of sitting in. Is that what I'm doing? Kind of sitting in. Hold on, someone else is helping with the narration. Going over like my effects, trying to figure out like thinking back to the things that I thought about during the encounter with Sneech, being kind of holding myself in the corner, understanding the things that are going on, and just kind of reflecting on everything that's going on while also working on my aspects because I know it's currently broken and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like doing that type of stuff.
okay. Sister Nura, anything?
Yeah, so Sister Nura's been, kind of like off in a corner, and she's got her book of kind of her notes and her litanies and all of those, kinds of things. And so you just have kind of heard her kind of just doing her own just kind of chants, kind of off to the side. And that's really just how she's spending the time because she wasn't particularly injured. So she didn't really require any medical attention. And so she's really just very isolated and very much just sort of like in her own, just kind of flipping through and nodding as she kind of reminds herself of, she'll just, if you kind of hear little bits, is just, we shall not let a single foe stay us from our duty. And, just kind of repeating all of these things. So I'm recanting a holy litany.
Nice.
For the
And
situation.
several of the monks, the brothers and sisters, will come over while you're recanting your holy litany, and they will just silently pray with you. It's rare that they have the opportunity to pray with a sister of battle, so they are taking the opportunity to bathe in your holy magnificence.
And she
But-
enjoys being magnificent.
The time does pass. You guys, you're feeling better. The med kit's been put to good use. Synth skin is Wigbert's covered in synth skin and medical staples, and he's back on his feet. He's got some combat stems in him, so he's feeling like a human being. Everybody is recovered from the warp touch that they felt from Calliope, and you're able to move on through the scribe. Anatoly tells you that you can go through the door and around to the refectory, through the front door or through the main gate, the main door to the refectory, or you can take the night stair, which basically there's a sliding panel into the refectory right near the main entrance. He can show you either way. He thinks the night stairs might be a little safer, but
Night stair is clearly the cool way to go, right?
clearly.
No objection.
It is unlikely the orcs would be as prepared for a sideways assault. They would most likely be prepared for a frontal one.
Agreed.
All right. So Father Anatoly takes you around, and I'm going to drop you here where you come out. Into the
Bookkeeping question.
Yep.
Would Nura and I get our faith points back since we took a...
Yes. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Your faith points are back.
Thank you for asking that, Ashley.
Very good question. They have faith points. It's it's another currency
Yeah.
that they have.
Gotcha.
So the panel slides open into the refectory. It's fairly dark in here. There are 3 large hanging candelabras. It looks like the orcs have been using them for target practice, and only about half the lights are lit. There are 2 long tables running down the center of the room. with chairs. And then it looks like just piles of junk. I mean, like 6-7 foot tall piles of junk. It looks like the orcs have basically been stripping the monastery of everything they could carry and just dumping it in here to try to figure out what is of value and what's not. I'm going to give you guys, as you come in and look around, you see a couple of orc commandos down one side of the table, and you see a couple of orcs in sort of different battle dress. You haven't seen anybody like this before, but I would say, Gavious, based on your studies of Xenos in the past, you would recognize these as Burna boys, just another kind of orc boy. But what really draws your attention are the two massive orcs towards the end of the room. One is a giant orc with, it looks like metal plates bolted into his head. He's got a giant shooter and a big chain axe, and he's yelling down the table, "Boys, get more stuff! We can't find no humies to kill, so get all the stuff!" And then further, at the end of the room, near the statue of the Emperor, kind of hidden in the shadows behind the main table, is probably the biggest orc you've ever seen. He's bald-headed, but looks like just large carpentry nails have been driven into his skull, halfway into his skull. He's got goggles up on his forehead, and he's chewing on a big cigar. And it looks like he is painting graffiti on the statue of the Emperor. But somebody give me an insight check. Difficulty 3.
Sister Nura is not insightful.
Now I will say this:
interested in it.
if you guys want to be stealthy, you can make a stealth check for your group too as you come in through the door. But if whoever's making the stealth check can't be the same person who's doing the insight check.
My insight's 4, so
You're our
You should
best
probably
bet,
do the
I
insight.
think.
shit. All right.
I'll
Or
step this up.
Haster.
Yeah. Oh my.
6 with complication.
Okay,
No.
6 on your stealth check with a complication. Roll the complication. Let's see what that's all about first.
Warp interference.
You stumble into a pile of cans.
Okay, so this is fine. This is good. What was the insight check? A 3.
So
Okay.
I got a 3.
So, as you're thinking, as you guys are stealthing into this area, and you see all these piles of rubble around, you see these 6 orcs kind of talking and shouting and doing various things, but it doesn't ring true to you. You get the impression that they're just waiting for something to happen, and they're just trying to draw you in like cunning commandos that they are. You're not 100% sure, but you kind of get that feeling. And then, you all feel the cold winds of the Changers of Way, angered by the murder of his acolyte, sweep through the room, causing some of the rubble to shake and shift, and causing all the orcs' eyes to look down past these mounds. And they see all of you but Wigbert, because you did succeed on your stealth check. So you're able to stealth yourself, but everybody else is out in the open. And at that point, you hear Captain Sly Stabba down at the very end go, "Ha, ha, ha, ha! Boys, finally, go crump some humies for me." And that is his, that's one of his special abilities called Get 'em, Lads. And it lets his orcs, one of his orcs jump in and do some craziness. So, you see one of these orc commandos on the far side leap the table, or he's going to try to leap the table as his move action and move into attack. Let me just configure myself a little bit here. So you see this orc jump across and get right in Sister Celeste's face as long as he makes his athletics check.
Ew, why am I up front?
Yeah, why are
I
you?
would have been in the back.
Your sister.
You remember that time, Jeff? Remember that time when Matt put us wherever he wanted?
Oh,
us?
I know.
This was a complete accident. It just is the way it is.
Oh, God.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Evan and I
succeeds.
talk about that a lot.
He succeeds and gets a wrath critical. So he leaps over he parkours over this table, puts one hand down, and you see this massive orc come flying at you, Sister Celeste, with this giant choppa in his hand. This huge, looks like two-handed cleaver comes swinging down at your power armor. And what is your defense?
I think one of the worst out of the group. My defense 1.
1. Ooh, that is rough.
Why?
Yeah.
You definitely should not be
I'm
out
the
there.
back bitch.
That is rough. That is rough. Okay. So 5 successes and 1 possible shift. So we're going to shift for damage because that's what you do. And what is your resilience?
Resilience is 8.
8. Oh, you're fine then. So it's only 9 damage. So you take 1 point of damage as he brings this choppa down on your power armor. And it actually cracks the choppa a bit. And he just looks a little stunned. And he's right in your face. You just get this orc spittle right on your face. No fair, homie. Bonk, bonk, bonk. This is too thick. And at that point, back up at the top of the table, you hear Captain Sly Stacka. Well, you don't hear anything. You see him shift around the table and move somewhere. Oh, yeah. So what happens is
Stealther.
Oh,
he disappears around the rubble and pops out next to Gavious. And Gavious, his actions, I mean, you've never heard of an orc moving that fast and that quietly. So you're restrained. Basically, you can't move in the moment. You are shocked as this giant orc pops up almost out of nowhere. You didn't even see him coming. And he's just smiling. And you see these crooked fangs and the cigar sticking out of the corner of his mouth. And he just kind of licks his lips and says, "Guess what's on the menu tonight, homie? Your face." And he is going to make an interactive attack. Intimidation against your resolve. So what is your resolve?
Where's resolve be combat?
Yes, under your combat
5.
tab.
It's 5.
Oh, that's good. Ooh, a wrath complication, and he failed. Yep, just fails. So you are not hindered. He drops his cigar because he thought you were going to stagger back. He drops his lucky cigar, and you almost see a tear come out of his orky eye at the loss of his cigar. But enraged at having failed to intimidate you and having lost his cigar, he swings his big choppa at you. What is your defense?
2.
2. For those at home wondering how he's able to do all of this stuff, Captain Sly Stabba has ruin actions because he's a champion, and he gets to do this multi-action without penalty as part of it. And ruin actions can be used outside of initiative whenever the individual chooses to do it, as long as they have ruin to spend. So he hits with 2 possible shifts. I'll roll some damage here. What's your resilience?
8.
8, so it becomes 7. So you take 6 wounds, but you can roll your determination to shift some of that to shock if you want. Okay, so 1 is successful, so you take 5 wounds and 1 shock.
All right.
And then he spends 1 more rune and falls back. He slides under the table and disappears using his Cunning Exfiltrator rune ability. But he has used 2 rune points this turn. It's back to you guys.
So these
how
tables.
far did Wigbert get, by the way, in terms of stealth? Because I know he's stealth. Did he move further into the room?
He can go wherever he wants on his action. He can move. I mean, and it's against their awareness if he gets close to them because they're actively looking for him. But with his stealth score, which was pretty good.
6.
6. They would have to get more than 6 successes to detect him. So he can move anywhere and then get a surprise action if he wants against one of these orcs.
And the you said there's candelabras. Are these like,
Yep.
Again, same question for me. Are they like old school candle stuff, or do they look like they're electrical or
They are old school big cast iron candelabras, but the lights have been replaced with electrical lights. They're not candles anymore, but they're still the big giant iron candelabras.
Gotcha. Sorry, if someone had an idea, go ahead. I just wanted to ask a couple questions.
So kind of looking at this map, if I've got a speed of 6, how far?
You could get to either one of these frontline orcs easily.
So
Obviously, Captain Sly Stabba has disappeared. You don't know where he is. At the moment.
No, that's fine. What I am wondering, and you can totally say no because these are obviously tables that kind of run the length. But I'm also in power armor, so you tell me what's feasible. What I would like to do is get over the table and attempt to squeeze those 2 between the table and the wall.
Okay.
Oh, so like flip the table over?
Either slide the table and just push.
Okay.
So you
Because
could
I'm assuming that might be a little easier than actually flipping the 20-foot long table. But I had the same, basically in that vein of thought.
Yes, you can definitely move down the table to somewhere towards the middle and push it. It'll be a strength test.
Yeah.
A contested strength test against these guys.
Okay.
As you try to push it against them. Or athletics, that is. It'll be athletics, not strength. Sorry.
Okay. And then I don't remember what audience stuff counts for. So it's 7 successes.
7 successes. Okay,
with 2 possible shifts.
Ooh, nice. Let's see how they do.
Might want to give us one of those into glory so that we can possibly keep initiative at some point. Until we start
sure.
back it up.
Okay, yeah. So you do manage to pin them against the wall. They were not expecting a Sister of Battle, and your power armor, your massive strength. You shove this table, you shove them against the wall, and they are currently pinned. So with the pinned action, basically they cannot move, and they lose an action. The only way they can rally is if one of their leaders takes a leadership test and gets more than your 7 successes to break the pinned condition from them, as long as you stay there and keep the table pushed against them.
Sure. Cool.
All right. So you've effectively taken the 2 burner boys out for the moment. because their arms are pinned down because they were pushing against the table, so they can't even raise their weapons at the moment. But bringing us back, unless you guys want... So did you shift that 1 point over to glory?
Yeah, I had 2 possible shifts, so yes, I would.
Okay, so you shift them over to glory?
Yep.
Okay.
I would spend a glory to keep initiative.
I think it's a good
so
idea.
We can start clearing some of these out. Okay, so I'm tempted to go for the one that just attacked Celeste to free her up a little bit. So I think Talov, it's kind of crowded. Is it possible for Talov to get a charge off, or should I just kind of tiptoe around?
Yeah, I mean that's
attack?
that's kind of theater of the mind-ish. You guys aren't really stacked up right like that. You can definitely charge at this guy.
Okay, so then I'll go ahead and do a full round action. I'll charge, so that'll give me an extra die basically to my attack. As this is his one and only friend in the group. He hates everybody else. They're useless flesh bags. Do not attack.
Oh dear.
Sorry, Nora. You don't have any noticeable implants.
I don't.
He's a very shallow man. Here, he knows what he likes. Okay, so he's gonna with the table kind of clearing a path. He'll charge and race around and kind of leap in the direction of this commando, and we'll try to get.
It's right as the commando was knocking his fist on Sister Celeste's armor, you come flying over at him.
Yeah. All right. So, is there a DN?
There is a DN of 2. They don't wear a lot of armor, these orcs.
Okay.
They don't think defense too much.
Best defense is a good offense. It's 4 successes.
Okay.
I'm just going to. I'm not going to blow everything yet. So I'm just going to roll damage on that.
I like it.
So that'll be 13 points of damage, 2 AP, agonizing and brutal.
Okay, so that takes it down to 3, it takes it to 10. So what's it look like when you kill this orc?
So as he's knocking, I will charge up, and then I'll knock on him. So he turns and looks at me, and then with the bottom side of the staff, I'll just bring it up right into his chin. And so that giant, massive orc chin just goes crushing upwards, and you just hear a crack of the neck.
I like it. And you see electricity kind of coming right out of his mouth and around his teeth.
And it just
again,
right into my staff and right into me. As I don't really need it right now, but I kind of just absorb it as I do wounds to him.
And as he's sliding back, you think he kind of winks at you, impressed with your strike.
Okay, and that is my turn.
Okay. At that point, so that puts you.
I just dropped a.
Oh,
we should be at 1 glory. I just said it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. At that point, coming out of the shadows, Captain Sly Stabba comes jumping out. He's like, "Good hit, Humi. How do you like it back?" And swings his big chopper at you as a reaction once per round. What is your defense?
It is 3.
3. All right. Two possible shifts, 7 successes, so... And what's your resilience?
My resilience is 6, I think. Let me double check. Is 6.
Okay, so it's 5, so you take 11 wounds, but you can, of course, roll determination to shift some of that to shock.
Okay, so he's also going to take shock damage equal to my rank, and he has to... as my right of the Voltigeist comes into play, so he needs to make a D3 toughness test, and he takes a shock damage 1. And how much damage did you say I took back?
You took 11 points of damage.
All right,
11
so
wounds.
then wounds. I will roll determination to try to soak some of that. I think.
Absolutely.
Wait.
So you soak 3.
All right. So I took
I don't.
eight wounds. What?
Yep. 8 wounds,
All right.
3 shock. And he does damage
Thanks.
from yours.
What's that?
He took 3.
Okay.
3 shock. And you see him stagger back from that. And he looks winded. And it looked like he was going to try to dive away, but he's moving much slower now. You almost think that he looks exhausted.
Beer
And it's back to you guys.
Now, Wigbert, show your usefulness for once.
Yeah, when
I would like to buff you before you attack.
We do have
Sure.
glory, so you can.
Sure,
Yeah, if you want to seize it. So
Yeah.
what Sister Celeste does, she still has a lot of Wigbert's blood on her. So she just scoops up a handful of it and she presses it to her mouth as like a kiss as she starts to wipe it down her face, and she says this prayer to boost Wigbert, and she casts the passion upon you. So again, double rank bonus dice to weapon skill tests for 1 round.
So you get +2 bonus dice to any weapons check you're going to take.
Also, I'll go ahead and spend the glory too. She's in initiative.
All right. So you guys. And since you're attacking, well, who are you? Are you moving against Captain Sly Stabba?
Yeah, when Sister Nura pushed the table away, she revealed me
Okay.
under the table shadows.
Okay.
I'm popping out.
My bad.
So I'm going to roll his awareness real quick just to see if he's aware of you. He is not, and he got a wrath complication. So I know what the complication is going to be. So when you attack from surprise, you get 2 bonus dice to your attack and 2 bonus dice of extra damage. The complication is he is so out of position and so exhausted that he doesn't see you coming. So you're going to get 4 extra damage dice. So +2 dice to attack and 4 extra dice for extra damage. If you hit. And Captain Sly Stabba's defense is pretty tough. It's 2.
Right? And I get a bonus.
So you get a total of 4 bonus dice to your attack and 4 bonus extra dice of damage if you hit.
I also add my eliminator talent. So I'm attacking
Yes.
from stealth. I can add that to ED.
Yes.
6
Okay.
success.
That's
With a
good.
shift.
And a possible shift, so that's it. Can be an extra damage if you want.
I'll shift to glory.
Okay. Okay. So roll your damage. You've got all your ED loaded in there, I'm assuming. 15.
15 damage.
-2. Okay, so that's
Can you re-roll that?
6.
Oh god, that's
Yeah,
terrible.
can I? Is
Yeah, you can.
that wrath roll? Yeah, I'll
that a
refail the
wrath?
fail.
Well,
with
your
wrath.
your attack had like so many 2s and
It was
1s.
an awful roll.
Yeah,
That was a terrible roll.
I can do more than that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You got this.
Yeah, and you're free from complication because you already rolled a 6 on it. So
Wait, can you reroll damage? I just tried it. I don't think it did.
Yep.
oh, I was talking about damage. I was talking about the attack.
Oh,
Okay, I rerolled it anyways for 3 shifts, so I'll just shift it all to glory. Fine.
okay. So 18 damage -2. AP his resilience is 8, 6, 12. All right. So Wigbert, describe what it looks like as you pop out of the shadows, much like Captain Sly Stabba has been doing all along. And how do you kill Captain Sly Stabba, the most cunning orc commando?
Like a roach that gets discovered in the kitchen light, I quickly move towards Steka. I slash along his thigh. His belt goes flying. The thigh bone goes in the air. I catch that. This really is a pig sticker. I just throw it into his throat.
Okay, wonderful. And he kind of falls forward, and he's huge compared to you, and he kind of just rests his forehead on your shoulder for a second. He's like, "You a cunning commando too, homie." Before he slides off And as he slides off, he pulls away from St. Hephaestium's thigh bone, which you still have in your hand. And Captain Sly Stabba is no more. The rest of the orcs around the room, they're going, wow, did you see that? Oh my God, that Hume really gave it to Captain Sly Stabba. Wow. Somebody, wait, I want a cigar if we get out of here. That's going to be mine. And at that point, you hear charging from down the other end of the room, directly at Sister Nura, screaming out an orky war cry. Whoa, the cigar's mine. And he is going to attack, but as he's charging you, he's going to use his big chopper. He's going to swing his big chopper at you. And he's going to use a rune action because he's got some rune himself. What is your defense, Sister Nura?
3.
3?
Okay.
I'm going to spend a point of rune to re-roll that.
I thought you might. That's not a very good roll.
That is a terrible roll. That's better. A wrath critical, 10 successes and 3 shifts. So let's do damage first. He's going to shift for damage. What is your resilience, Sister Nura?
10.
10? Oh God, that's good. So it's 9,
Yeah.
7, 8. You take 8 wounds, but you can roll determination to shift some of that to shock if you want. So you take 6 wounds and 2 shock.
Damn. That
How are you
almost
looking?
took me out. That's
Okay.
not great. Not great at all. 6 of 8.
And we will roll the wrath critical now.
Okay.
Murderous onslaught. A thunderous blow sends the target sprawling. Shattered ribs, pierced organs, jets of blood spew from the wound. Sister Nura lies writhing in pain. You suffer 2 mortal wounds, and you are prone.
Well, damn.
So, 2 more wounds that you cannot soak, and you are prone.
Okay. Which puts me at 8 of 8 wounds.
So you are dying at this point. So let's look at the dying rules again. I mean, you're not like dying in this game is not like
Sure,
immediate
sure.
death. It's just,
But
moving in the direction
am-
of death.
in a pool of my own blood.
Yes.
I don't know that I'm writhing in pain. I will object to that. Sister Nura's a
you are
badass. She's not writhing
That's
in
true.
pain. But
That's a
she
good point.
looks awful.
She's a little put out. Let's put it that way. She's slightly put out, a little peeved by this. I gotta find the death
Shattered
and die.
ribs, pierced organs, all of those things. Blood
Page
spewing
183.
around.
There we go. Yeah, give me a D6 roll, Sister Nura.
6.
A 6. You have lost an ear. Well, you've got a torn ear. So one of your ears, left or right, I'll let you choose, is torn halfway from your head. And if you take any more injuries, you'll start to take traumatic injuries. And if you take additional traumatic injuries equal to your rank plus your tier, that's when you die. As this giant orc knob is standing over you, gleefully cackling as he hopes to bring his chopper down on you repeatedly.
Sure.
So he can take a Sister of Battle's head home with him. However, it is your turn. Or your team's turn at this point.
Sure.
Who has not gone yet?
Gavious.
Can I see like what's on these guys? Like, do any of them have like weapons on their bodies and stuff like that that I can like view?
Oh yeah, I mean they all have shooters, they all have stick bombs, they all have choppers of some sort or another.
How close are the burners to the Melissa's character?
I mean, they're probably 10 feet away at this point, but they are free from the table now because when Sister Nora went down, they were able to push the table away. But they're 10 feet away from her, about 10 feet away from one another.
And what's the range of one of those stick bombs?
It's a good question.
The blast radius?
I think it's 6, but I'm going to double check before we get too far.
Are the two burners like next to each other?
They are 10 feet apart from one another, roughly.
It's not what I wanted to do then.
I was hoping that there would be like a grouping under one of those like iron chandeliers, so I could like shoot the chandelier and just drop the chandelier on like multiple of them.
You could at least get one of them that way. But yes, the blast radius is 6. So you would get one of them in it, and that's all.
Okay. So wanted to tell one of them to pull all the pins on their bombs to take out a group of them, but they're not close enough to do that.
Well, you could. I mean, potentially, if you can force him to do that, you could force him to pull the pins on his stick bombs and charge his friend.
Yeah, let's do that. See if I can do that. I'll do
I'm
a
gonna give him
compel.
a hug.
Hug.
I'll give you a hug. Yeah,
For
so
such a good job.
that's a compel.
Okay. So
So
talk
that's
to me
a-
about compel.
So compel, blah, 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 just put it away. Implant a simple command in the mind of a nearby creature. This command must be short, considering of a single action, simple and obvious, but can otherwise overcome the given creator's own interests or base instincts. The target creature must successfully pass the DN4 willpower test or compelled to obey.
Okay. What check do you have to make to force them? Do you have a check yourself?
It doesn't say anything for a check for myself.
Let me just see real quick.
Yeah, it's not in the. It's not in Foundry.
Okay.
So what would the short command be? Go explode on your friend.
Go kablooey.
No, you do have a. It's a DN5 psychic mastery check for you to
Okay.
activate the power, and then they have to pass a willpower.
All right, so I'll do that.
But since you're trying to make it a complex compel, I'm gonna let you try it anyway because I think it's wonderfully fun. We're gonna make it a difficulty 7 check instead of
Okay.
a 5 check.
All right, we'll see how this go, guys. I'm pretty close to death's door, so let's try. Can I got plenty of shot. Can I enhance this myself?
No, it doesn't work that way. If
All right.
you get a dice where you can shift it, then you can enhance it
Okay.
using the shift dice.
All right, let's see how it goes.
Oh dear.
Okay, you can
Wrath.
if you've got a wrath point, you can try to re-roll your failures, but you did get a complication, so
I don't have a wrath.
you don't have a wrath.
Unless
You've
wraths
used 2
reset
from
this
when we
session.
were- rested?
They reset. They
Oh,
reset when
okay.
you rested.
So I had 2.
Yep.
So was I right click and
Yeah,
reroll?
just
Click on
right click.
one of the numbers, not one of the successes.
Okay,
It'll
reroll
say-
failed.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got it.
Okay.
Nice.
There you
Um,
go.
Now you have to roll on the perils of the warp table, not a standard complication because it's a warp power. So that complication isn't the right one.
It's a 6 though.
It's a different table. You have to roll. I'll pull it up for you.
I think your head's gonna. He's gonna see you as a friend, and he's gonna run and give you a hug.
He's
Could
like,
be.
Yumi,
I'm
present
just gonna roll it
for
for you real
you."
quick.
Oi, brother.
We had that one already. We're gonna re-roll it. That's better. Hoarfrost. The temperature drops 20 degrees, and all surfaces within 25 meters of you are coated in a thin rind of frost. So it's difficult terrain in your area, and anybody who rolls a complication immediately around you will fall prone. However, you succeeded and he goes running off as he pulls the pins on his stick bombs to hug his fellow Burnaboy friend. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna roll this, and he's using both of them. So we'll do the.
It's gonna be great when I die horribly, and the next character I do is the exact opposite of this.
So proficient and good at rolling leadership.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Dude, you're awesome. You guys are doing a great job.
27
Great job.
damage, blast 6.
Oh
and
my
the
gosh.
Crit, well, it was 2 bombs. So yeah, so what happens is he runs. This Burner Boy runs to his friend with these, and his friend's looking at him in terror. He's like, "What you doing? No!" And he hugs him around the head, and the stick bombs go off, and both their heads pop off, and their bodies are just kind of running in place for a few seconds, like chickens, before they drop to the ground. Both very, very dead.
Oi, brother, give me a hug.
Leaving the orc commando, who has not acted yet, he is going to stand there. He's looking at Wigbert Hahn. He just saw him take out the big boss, Captain Slystab, and knowing that to become an orc knob himself, you either got to kill the knob or you got to kill the guy who killed the knob. So he's lining up. He aims with his shooter, which is something orcs are not particularly good at, and he fires it off at Wigbert Hahn. What is your defense, Wigbert?
3.
3? All right. Bonus.
Oh my, that poor guy.
What an awful roll.
Orcs are not good at aiming. They are not good at aiming. He aims, he fires, and he actually hits Captain Stabba's body as it's falling. He's like, I'm gonna crump you, Hume. Stay there. I gotta get you. If they get you, they'll be the knob. And he takes his move action to vault the table and start moving towards the group of you over there. Bringing us back to you guys, I believe the top of the order. 2 burner boys are dead. Captain Slystab is dead. You've got 2 orc commandos and an orc underknob. The underknob is standing over Sister Nora with his chop up, ready to plunge into her body to take her head.
We only have 1 commando left, right? Because I killed the other one, didn't I?
No, you got the one that was fighting. Oh yeah, no, sorry,
yeah.
you did
Yeah, I
kill
did.
him. I apologize. Yep,
No,
you
it's not-
murdered
it's not
that
good.
guy. You got 1 commando left, and the orc underknob.
So am I able to do anything laying here?
Yeah, I mean you're dying, so you can take a simple combat action. You can try to move away. You can withdraw, successfully withdraw, or
Can I
you can
just
take a
shoot
simple.
from the ground?
You absolutely can. Yes.
Do
think I-
the full unload thing.
What's the full unload
The
thing?
salvo. You can do
Yeah.
a salvo. What's your salvo rating on your bolt pistol?
1 second.
And also
think
say it's
two.
been
You asked
revoked.
before.
2 or 3?
I think it's 2.
2. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
2.
You've
So
asked about
if you empty your magazine from your bolt gun into this guy, you would add 2 extra dice to your attack.
and if you kill him and he falls, you have to say it's been revoked. Like,
Damn
you
it.
have to do it.
You heard what I said.
I
You
was
took
in
it
the
from
same
me.
place. Come on. We share a break.
So I put that. Where do I put that?
Where it says bonus dice.
Dice pool? Just increase the dice pool by 2?
Yep.
Okay. And what's the difficulty?
Hold on, let me pull him back up. His defense is 3.
Oh my.
Okay.
He's a little
It's like
tougher.
a veritable tank, this guy. Holy shit.
9 successes.
That's really-
God
Okay,
damn.
So that
Touche.
Relax.
2 shifts.
you
yeah,
see
yeah.
you hear these rockets just ripping into this guy. 2 possible shifts, so roll your damage if you want to shift for damage.
If she doesn't say it's been revoked, this is a real issue. We're gonna
I'm
have
going to
here.
charge and kill it.
Wait,
That's what I'm going to do.
why did that just do that thing? I only rolled 1.
Well, do you only have 1 extra die? It has a.
You only
it
have
has
1
a-
ED.
Yeah, it's got a flat damage. So your
Yeah.
flat damage is 12. So you did 13. Brutal, rapid fire. His resilience is 11 though.
So can I take the 2 shifts to damage?
Yes, you can. So that would be 15. So he takes 4 wounds. So you empty this bolt pistol into this orc. And I mean, you're boom, boom. You can see some of his organs. You can literally see through his chest, and his heart is still pumping. And he just smiles down at you. I'm gonna take your head, Humi, and your fancy gun. And unless somebody is going to
Can I
interrupt,
spend glory to keep the initiative?
you can. You can.
Can I charge and get to the orc knob that's about to kill Sister Nura?
You can.
Okay. So I will do that. I will just throw Wigbert completely out of the way. I just get out of my way. No, I was kidding. He will run past and he will charge.
He clearly thinks Wigbert's useless anyway, so
No. What are you talking about? Wigbert killed that guy. And he'll charge at this orc knob and attempt to help Sister Nura. Unfortunately, Talib is also quite hurt, so we could both be dead soon.
Defense is 3.
Okay, so let me see. So I get an extra that. All right. Give that roll. I'm going to. So I hit, but I think I'm going to go ahead and Wrath reroll
Try to get some shifts out of it.
some shifts. Yeah. And I did. Wrath critical, 9
Ooh.
successes, 2 shifts.
nice.
All right. Roll your damage. Roll your crit. Let's see what's happening here.
I will. So I'm going to put, in terms of shifts, I'm going to put 1 shift back into glory, so we're back to 1.
Okay.
Someone else can potentially use it, and then the other one will go to damage.
All right.
So here's the damage first. 18 points of damage, 2 AP,
Okay.
agonizing and brutal,
Let's just see what that critical is.
and then crit. Savage attack. The assault leaves the opponent a mangled mess, slashing, burning, breaking, or ripping into them with violent force. Target suffers 1 mortal wound. If the target survives, they immediately acquire a memorable injury, and +1 mortal wound for every glory you spend.
Well, you don't have to worry about spending any glory because you straight up just murdered him with the damage. But I wanted to see what the crit was to see how you were going to flavor the execution of this orc underknob.
So I think it's like as he charges in, it's almost like a horizontal strike of like electricity. So you just see this man running down the room, like leaping over top of the fallen chairs, and he's just got trailing behind him is electricity, and with it's not 1 hit this time, it's like 1,000 hits, just really quick and fast succession. It's like just savage assault, and the last one just shoves the butt of his electroleaf staff right into that open hole that Sister Nura had made with his chest, and just punctures the heart and plucks it out, and then just very, very carefully pushes him down in the process.
And he just slides away, again with a confused look on his face, bringing us to the last orc commando.
And the last glory, if I can seize the initiative.
You can only do that once.
One time. Okay, gotcha.
One time.
Once in a row. Okay.
Yep. He charges up, making good on his attempt to become the new knob, even though he's the only guy left. They don't really think that tactically. And he swings his choppa at Wigbert Hahn. What is your defense, Wigbert?
3.
I know I've asked you a few times before,
Sorry.
but...
Oh my god.
1 success. I'm going to spend a point of ruin because I've got it. It just seems wrong to not. That's better. 4 successes. What is your resilience?
6.
6. Okay, so you take 2 wounds, but you can roll determination to try to shift some of that to shock.
Yeah, and I can sub agility for my talents
Yep.
instead of determination.
All right, so you're able to shift it all to shock. And you take no wounds. But this orc commando is standing in front of you. He's looking. I mean, basically, you dodged out of the way. You know, you used all of your skills, and you put your body in an amazing amount of physical stress as you contorted yourselves away from the blade, just taking that shock effect. But you're standing right in front of him now. So I think it's fair to say if you'd like to take a shot at him, you can.
This is the perfect time too.
You want to boost?
You would have to go, and then he would go again.
We have the glory.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, yeah,
You
we
can
could
pull it
do
off.
Like us, less like you want the boost.
You want drugs?
You want some
you want drugs?
kid?
So
What do you
yeah.
have?
So Celeste does what she did before, where she casts the passion upon Wigbert. Again, except this time she reaches forward to get a new like dose of blood and just repeats the same action for him.
Nice. So you get the +2 dice.
Okay. And I will two-hand my power blades and swing it down on his head.
Nice.
Complication, but 6 success.
Okay, let's roll the damage first, and then we'll roll the complication.
12 with 2
Okay.
piercing.
Go ahead and let's roll the complication, and then you can describe to me how you killed the last orc.
Been restrained.
Okay, so I think what happens is you drive your power blades into this orc so deep that they grate against his rib cage, and as he dies, he falls forward on you, pinning you and your power blades against the ground as his bowels loosen and he vomits up his life's blood onto your body.
And as he's on top of me, I have to cut myself through because I can't get
Yep.
out of it.
Slowly
So his
chopping your way out.
guts and blood are just pouring over me.
So we see the last orc fall. We see the 5 of you stand covered in orc blood, wounded, some of you horribly wounded. And the monks, having witnessed this from the night stairs, pour out, and they begin to tend to your wounds. A couple of days pass while you're at the monastery. You're feeling better. You're back to your normal. You're back to your full wounds, back to your full shock. Everything is reset. They've called in for reinforcements from the mainland, and there's been some Navy medics that have come in and helped you. And after 2 days, Father Anatoly formally presents to Sister Nura the thigh bone of Saint Hephaestion. For you, sister, please take this back as requested and care for it as we have done for centuries. And then he turns to you, Gavious, and he goes, your aid in this battle, sir, was invaluable. I have been given permission to give you one of the Emperor's tarot decks. And he hands you this. It's a stylized electro tarot deck. And what it is also a psychic focus. So you get +1 die to your psychic mastery tests. But it can also, when you attune to it, occasionally will give you divinatory glimpses. And he goes, please, my son, take this, make it yours. Basically asking you to attune to it.
I will gladly accept this and make sure you burn all that blue lady in there. It's not good to have stick around. So just burn it, put some salt on it, put it on the ground.
It has already been done. They have been disposed of. And
burn it again. Just make sure.
Yes, sir. So go ahead, give me a psychic mastery test. You get +1 die to this. Just a standard difficulty 3. Six successes. Nice. So you feel it. You feel attuned to it, but you also feel a flash. You see yourself walking out of the monastery, and then you feel incredible pain, and you see nothing else, and then you're snapped back into your body.
All right.
And you guys hear over the Vox that your boat's waiting for you, that you've been recalled to the Veronius fleet. The Veronius flotilla for your next mission.
Very nice.
I guess I'll make the group aware of the situation. Not that damn, I forget
Yeah.
Jeff's name.
You're Gavious.
I'm Gavious.
Yeah.
Byrrc. Not that Byrrc will give a shit, but I'm gonna let them aware, like, I have a feeling that someone's waiting for me outside. And I don't know how we want to approach that. Whether you would want me to leave separately or with you, how do we want to approach this moving forward?
You are no good to us dead.
That is not entirely true. If you were dead, we could then.
You're over there like,
recycle
it's
this
that Thor, it's that Thor meme. Is it though?
Correction. You are more useful to us alive.
Who
Perhaps
exactly
you
is this someone?
I don't know what it is. I tuned myself to this, and it gave me a picture that I may not see things before we get to our actual flotilla. So, don't know how we want to proceed moving forward.
Seems like your problem.
So cold. So wrath and glory.
Seems
Byrrc
like
is
our
proud of you,
problem
my
if we
friend.
walk next to him.
I'll just
Perhaps
we can proceed,
you
and the
walk
Emperor
out.
will protect.
Perhaps you walk
Alright.
out and spring the trap, and we are behind in case you need us. Unless you are a coward.
We'll see what happens. The Emperor protects, right?
Those that are worthy of the Messiah's protection. Are you worthy, Gavious?
I have devoted my life and my practices to do so. So, if the Emperor is willing,
Then you have nothing to fear, which makes your fear now all the more suspicious.
not so much fear as knowledge for you to know, just in case you are all in danger as well. Though our time here has been complicated through the glory of battle and then through the Emperor's light, I have become accustomed to you all. Despite you want to suck my soul out of my body at all given seconds. So let's proceed. I'll go
There's
first.
glory in sacrifice.
Celeste will be looking for danger then.
Okay. So
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
whoever's got the highest awareness can do an awareness check, and somebody can aid them by either providing their awareness dice or their intelligence dice to the check.
Byrrc is
I would
relatively
like-
aware. How about you?
Could I also
Celeste?
inspire through leadership?
Mine is 7, and then my eyes give me.
Your awareness is 7.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
and I
wow.
get plus
That's
1
better than
bonus
mine.
die to sight based.
Okay, yeah, I'll
Oh,
assist you
okay.
then.
Yeah.
Celeste sees all.
That's
All right,
I
so,
only have 6. So yeah.
Okay, so Jeff, what is either just your base awareness or your base intelligence? Which is
Base
higher?
awareness is 2. Base intellect is 4.
Okay, so add 4 dice to your roll, Sister Celeste, as you guys walk out.
So many dice.
Wow. Only I'll use.
Got wrath.
Yeah, your wrath
Yeah.
reset. You guys, you're fully healthy again. Your wrath reset.
Okay.
Does that mean like wounds and everything reset too?
Yep. You guys
Yeah.
are. I mean, you guys spent a couple of days here resting up and getting patched up. 9
Clearly
successes.
Doesn't pay attention.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
She turns
yeah, one-
around. She turns around, notices Wigbert has a sniper in the back of my head.
It was
You got-
worth the whole time.
You got one possible shift. So do you want to shift that for additional information, or
Yeah.
Okay, so as you walk out, Sister Celeste, you're scanning, your head's on a swivel, and you see from another one of the other hill crest on the island, a glint of light. Right as you're glancing that way, you almost like you see a brief ruby light. But you did catch it, and you start to move Gavious out of the way. So this is not a fully surprised attack, which is going to make things a little different. As this las shot from a long las sniper rifle goes off. Hold on, I gotta some things. What's your defense, Gavious?
It is 2.
2. All right.
Oh, that's a lot of dice.
Oh.
So 4 shifts and a wrath critical. Okay.
He did get voted to be the most likely to die today.
Yeah, he's just
You
giving the
did?
people what they
Okay.
wanted to.
19. What's your resilience?
My resilience is 8.
Okay, so that's 11. You can roll determination to soak.
Oh, combat damage.
You soak once, you take 10 wounds. How many
I only
wounds
have
do you have?
7.
7. Okay, so you go down to 0 and you take 2 traumatic injuries, but unless the critical kills you, you might live through this. Ferocious rending. Take 2 more wounds. Okay. So this last round hits Gavious, and basically tears his chest open. I mean, it was a hot shot round, searing organs,
shot.
tearing him apart. But he may still be alive. We gotta roll some traumatic injuries. Give me 3 sixes. Roll 3 separate d6s. Okay,
Just 3 days before
six,
retirement.
I'm heading out like, anyways, guys, great game. All right, let's get in there. Let's make sure we hit the showers. What's that? What's that over there?
So basically, you hear this. You actually don't hear anything, but 2 beams of laser energy strike Gavious. One tears your left foot off. The other one strikes you in the torso. You suffer a severe injury that impairs your organs. And you have your right eye shot out. So you've lost your right eye. You've got
I just got really cool looking real
traumatic
fast.
injury in your chest, and your left foot is shot off. But if somebody provides medical attention to you right at this moment successfully, you will not die.
Everyone just turns and walks into the flotilla.
Oh, that looks rough. Your sacrifice to the emperor will be noted.
So you said we
Now-
saw where the
Guys, is it
shot was
bad?
coming from?
You can somebody can roll an awareness check now that you've seen basically the direction that the energy came from and the direction he fell. You can kind of triangulate roughly where this shot came from, and somebody can try a medical check on him. But he's had 3 traumatic injuries, so the difficulty number is 6.
I can try the medical if someone wants to try the.
Can I, from the
I'll
ground, give
I'll do
leadership?
The awareness.
Can I
I'll
give
do
leadership
awareness.
from the ground to inspire them?
Sadly, you're unconscious.
Save me.
And
Oh.
dying.
Byrrc will stand over top of Gavious and just suck out his motive force. No, sorry. I'm gonna roll an awareness test to see if I could pinpoint exactly where that shot came from. Is there a difficulty you want for this?
This would be a difficulty 5.
Oh boy. Okay.
Celeste will grab him, pull him more towards cover, and then attempt a Medicae.
That is 7 successes with 1 possible shift. So
Okay.
well,
You
more
want to shift for
information.
Okay.
It-
What you see is you see a ratling stand up, disassemble the barrel off his sniper rifle, stow it. He's wearing Astra Militarum fatigues, but you can tell there's no patches on them or anything, so it's no unit identified. But the cut of the fatigues are clearly Astra Militarum Commando.
Mm.
And he looks down at you. He taps his head. He taps himself. Kind of gives you a half salute and saunters off the backside of that hill, as if his job is done. With the Medicaid check, Celeste, tell us how you're able to stabilize Gavious. You're not able to heal him, but you're able to stabilize him to get him off of this island.
So what she does is he's got his foot's gone. So she takes, what do I have for gear?
I pull Ashley closer. I'm like, when we get back, we're gonna get in that Camaro and go down the street and pick up them girls like we said we were gonna.
I presume I'm just gonna flavor it as she has something to burn, so she cauterizes his wounds with a rather large flame, and
He does it on the wrong eye.
no, she doesn't. She's good at her job.
Oh, sorry, it's my
And then
Excuse you.
she just kind of hefts him up, and she gives part of him to Sister Nura to help her hold, and like we just start to quickly hustle back to the ship.
Okay. So obviously, Gavious survives for now. He's going to have
this
to go into
time.
serious augmetic surgery at this point, but that brings the vow of silence to a close as our team has successfully recovered the thigh bone of Saint Hephaestion, uncovered the traitors and stopped them, and they were able to fight off the orc infestation, and apparently have discovered that the Inquisitor General was true to his word and that he really wants to see Gavious dead. So I hope everybody had a good time in the Vow of Silence. Before we go, we're going to go over the experience, though, for that, so you guys can get an idea of how experience works for this. So everybody... We'll count this up. Everybody gets 3 experience points for role-playing and having fun. If you had fun. If you didn't have fun, don't take the experience. 3 experience for defeating Captain Sly-Stabus. You all get that, even though Wigbert was the one that chopped him down. 3 experience points for dropping all of the green skins from the monastery, which you successfully did, so that's 9. 3 experience points for recovering Hephaestion's thigh bones, so that's 12. And then you get 1 experience point for each NPC and agent you managed to save of the following list. So you saved Ricard, you killed Thaddeus, you saved Anatolius, and you saved Shardai. So you get 15 experience points, and you get 3 experience points for stopping Calliope and Thaddeus from escaping with the Emperor's Tarot deck. So 18 experience points in total that you can spend between now and next session, when we will be moving into another one of the Litanies of the Lost Adventures. Which one? You guys are just going to have to tune in and find out. So that's all I've got for tonight.
Nice.
Gavious, 1 foot, 1 eye, chestless wonder, and the rest of the team are going to be heading back to the flotilla to find a new mission. So Jeff, what else is going on?
Sure. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about Garbalek first? What do you got going on next week?
So next week on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Millie, the GM. She is going to be continuing her Coriolis campaign. It's the Free League game. It's been a long-running campaign. It's fantastic. It's streamed on YouTube, though, so you're not going to find it on the Twitch TV channel. You're going to have to check them out on YouTube directly. Then on Wednesday, we will be back for some more Marvel Multiverse, Cataclysm of Kang, as we finish up and dive into the Rank 3 adventure for that. I'll be the narrator for that, and you'll see my team of Operation Pendragon, British World War II heroes who've come to the future to fight Kang in all his glory. Then on Thursday, you can catch Mr. Garblag himself, Pete, who's going to be running his own game called Heroic Deeds, which is going to be starting its Kickstarter in February. But you can get the quick start rules right now on Drive-Thru RPG. It's got an old school high fantasy RPG feel with some modern mechanics, and so it should be a lot of fun. So check that out.
Fantastic. As for us, next game we got is tomorrow, Call of Cthulhu Eternal Lies, as we are getting back to 1936 Los Angeles in a investigation into a sex and drugs cult. It's pretty fun. It's good times. Then Monday, it is. We got some more Fragged Empire, more space sci-fi. Tuesday, we've got our own Marvel Multiverse campaign going on, as we've been doing a X-Men themed Schools Out campaign. Next Thursday, we got Werewolf the Apocalypse. And if you haven't already, check out the YouTube page, Adventures in Lollygagging. Follow along there. You can see all of our other games, including Delta Green, including Monster of the Week, and a bunch of our old stuff that we've had for the past few years. And stay tuned. We got some news coming up. We got some new things that are going to be popping up in the next few weeks or so. So hopefully you follow us. And we're going to go ahead and raid our buddies over at the Defenders of Cobalt. Joe is running his Anvia game he's been working on for a while now. He's working really hard, getting very close. So follow that raid. Have a great rest of your night. And we'll see you all later. Bye-bye.
Good night.
See you.